Welcome to Layers of Communication with your host, Lydia Taggart. Life presents experiences that add a layer to who we are and how we see the world, affecting how we communicate. Lydia is here to help you take apart the layers and create new ways to connect and build relationships. So now, please welcome the host of Layers of Communication, Lydia Taggart.
Hello, all my friends. It's good to see you today. I've been out for a week or so, and I have been on a social media fast, so that's been amazing. But that's not really what I want to talk about. I just am super excited to be back with you again. So welcome to Layers of Communication today. I'm your host, Lydia Taggart, and I'm so excited to have you. If you are looking for communication tips, any relationship helps, that's kind of what we do here. Layers of communication, building on our foundation of trust and building that trust with other people and how we connect with our kids especially. So if you're looking for me in other places, I'm at lydiataggart.com, also layersofcommunication.com and cheerfulbychoice.com. We can find you all sorts of places. Anyway, of course, I'm on Facebook and YouTube as well. So subscribe, like, and share, of course. Today, I'm so excited for this today. Today is a really actually kind of profound topic. When I realized this, I was just like blown away. I just recently, actually this morning, came to me. I was like, holy cow, that's what I've got to share today. I'll tell you a story. Of course, I love stories. We start with stories. So when my kids were little, like most moms, when they have cute little adorable children that are just so fantastic, I loved to brag about my kids. And having quadruplets is pretty easy to see. I mean, people want to ask questions a lot. So I got into this habit of talking about my kids all the time. And I was kind of stuck in that layer of I'm just a mom. So that was kind of my joy. That was all I had right then. And so one day we went to the park with some friends. I love this friend. Oh, she doesn't even know how much she's changed my life by being there that day and speaking her mind. Just amazing the difference it made. So we're at the park and the kids are playing. They're all having a great time. And I'm bragging about my kids. Oh, today my kid, da, 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 da. And yesterday, this kid, da, 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 da. And just on and on. I have a lot of kids to talk about too. So I had 6 kids. I have 6 kids still. And my friend had 3 at the time. So I had the lion's share of the conversation. Not really fair, but that's what it was. And so I was just bragging and, oh, my kids are so fabulous and they're so wonderful and they're so cute and I'm such a lucky mom. And my friend got kind of mad. Well, she got really mad, actually. And she put her stuff down and she says, you know, Lydia, the only reason they're any kind of special to anybody is because they're ours. My kids are special to me and your kids are special to you. And she got up and she walked away. And I was kind of like, what? My kids are awesome. Of course they're awesome. But really, they weren't any more awesome than hers, and there's no reason to brag more than her. And so I took that with me and sat with it for a little while. Like, she's right. The only reason anyone is any kind of special to anybody is because they're ours. So here's where it goes from there. Have you ever found yourself or heard someone else saying in the moment of anger or frustration, you go deal with your child because mine isn't like that. My kids are nice. And everybody has a rough day once in a while. I found myself saying that once to my husband. I go, you go take care of your children because they're yours. Right now, I'm not going to claim them. They're yours. What kind of effects do we have from that not being claimed? Oh my goodness. it affects the relationship. It's not Thanksgiving. Oh, it's not even Valentine's. What am I thinking here? It's not Valentine's Day. We need to show gratitude. I think maybe that's where the Thanksgiving was coming from. But we show gratitude for our relationships and everything about them every day. It doesn't have to be Thanksgiving. What I wanted to say was Valentine's Day. It's not Valentine's Day, but I'm thinking about this anyway. On Valentine's Day, we have those hearts and those chocolates and all sorts of things around saying, be mine, be my Valentine, will you be mine? And if we're courting someone, we're dating someone, and this is generalized, right? But if we're dating someone, we have the same feelings for them. We like them the same amount from the 1 minute to the next of, will you be mine? Yes, I will. But somehow that saying, yes, I'll be yours, changes how we treat each other, and how we treat that relationship changes when we have that ownership and that agreement that we're going to be each other. Will you be mine? Yes, I will. That changes how we interact. And it goes for kids, and it goes for couples, and it goes for pretty much anything. If you're working and you're like, oh, I just have to go to work. How different is that compared to, I have a job and this is mine? And we're going to have a much better feeling about going to work when we have that ownership. My husband started his job. He's been there a little bit more than a month now. And that's one of the things that he has said is so drastically different from the other places that he's worked before. There's an ownership. All of the employees take ownership like they haven't in other places, that this is their job. This is their responsibility. They get to claim the positive results as well as be responsible for fixing mistakes and improving on their other things. If we can just take that ownership, and we can take that ownership to our feelings as well and choose, is this what I want? Am I going to really take this on as who I am? Is it mine, or is it someone else's? Is it mine? And if we have those negative voices in our heads, like all the time, there's always a negative force coming at you. You shouldn't do that. That's not good for you. Is it? Is it not good for me? Or is someone trying to stop me from helping the world be a better place? Is that voice coming from me? Do I want to claim it? Or is it someone else? A lot of times we think that our mentors, our family, our people that we look up to, we expect them to look out for us because we are theirs, right? When we have this relationship of claiming each other, let me know in the chat box if you have any other stories. Like, does this relate to you? Do you have questions, or is this kind of crazy and not making sense? Let me know what's going on in your world. So, I'm thinking like parents to children, especially when we say, that's not mine, then you can't have the same kind of bond as if we said they are mine. Step parents struggle with this. It's a really quick fix. It just takes time. But once you are able to say, I claim you as my children too, because I've claimed this spouse as mine, and I get everything that comes along with that choice. And I'm taking responsibility for stepping into that place and loving who I am when I'm with you, and loving you no matter what, because you're mine anyway. It doesn't benefit us like that time that I told my husband, these are your kids, you go deal with it. I needed a break. Yes, I did. But it did not benefit that relationship to put them off and say, I'm not going to claim you as mine anymore. That hurt the relationship. It damaged it. And we needed to do some healing because of that. And I don't even think that the kids heard me say that, but it was still damaged. And saying that they're not my children, it doesn't help. So if we claim it, will you be mine? What else is there in your life that you can claim as yours? Let's think about your life's mission. You have goals to reach. You have things that you want to do. For example, maybe you want to lose some weight. I've just started a program with a personal trainer. Fabulous. Getting a personal trainer, you can get immediate results. And that's why I help families, because you can have immediate results in your families when you have a personal trainer or a coach. And it's just amazing. So if I have this goal to lose, let's say 60 pounds, and is that my goal or is that the doctor's goal? Who's saying that that should be something to work for? Is it mine? And I find this has been a roadblock in so many places for so many people because so-and-so says I should, or my husband wants me to, or the doctor advised that this should happen. It's not ours, so it doesn't work the same way. If we say, oh, yes, doctor is smart, I agree, I'm going to take that on as mine. Will you be mine? Goal is asking, will you be mine? Yes. And we treat our bodies differently. So our bodies are asking the same kind of thing. Will you be mine? Can I claim my body as my own and love it the same way? It's going to be different when I say, okay, I accept this is who I am and this is what I've got to work with. It's like starting a baseline. If you have a relationship, you need to know where you are before you can make any progress. All right. Hi, Claudette. Hi, Laurie. Hi, Peggy. It's good to see you guys talking about ownership and claiming our challenges and claiming our family, especially claiming who we are and claiming our life's mission. So if we have a life's mission, we all need to find a mission in our life. It gives us purpose, gives us happiness and joy, right? And until we let it soak in and say, yes, that's mine, then it's not going to be comfortable. And it might not be comfortable anyway because we need to stretch and grow, and that's not really comfortable. But we'll fight it if we haven't claimed it as ours. And that's where the relationships with stepchildren and, if we're grumpy with our teenager or something, we say, fine, that you're not really mine right now. That is fighting that relationship. It's not building up and helping and supporting them or us. It's just complicating things more. All right. Do you guys have any comments? I know that this, it says 2 comments. Let's see what the comments are. I think, Peggy says hello. And Lori just gave a thumbs up. Okay, that's good. Hi. So, since I've recognized how deep this goes with the ownership, oh my goodness, you can see how things just line up so much easier when we say, yes, that's mine. We can take that. Oh, thanks, Lori. She says this is great. We take that ownership and then it relieves blame. Oh, I have a hard time with whose fault is it, right? Just claim it. It doesn't even matter. A lot of times we say, it's your fault, it's my fault. And there's a guilt thing going there. You don't have to have it. You don't have to have a fault. It just can be. So if you have a challenge, use my husband's unemployment. That didn't have to be anybody's fault. It's just what it is. Our emotions, they don't have to be a fault. Feelings are meant to be felt. They can be a blessing as we experience them. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm angry and it's all your fault. No, stop at I'm angry. Okay, I'm angry. Claim it, let it be yours, and experience it and move through it. Say, okay, I'm I'm going to be angry for 7 minutes. 7 minutes is kind of the magic number for emotions. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but you can be bawling your eyes out. You don't stay in that state forever. You eventually dry up and take a breath and pause, right? You get to move through the emotion, experience all that heartache and the crying and the sobbing, pillows the pillows soaking wet, and you just wring it out because you cried so much and drips down. But you eventually do stop and take a breath. And I'm not saying you don't go back to that emotion, but you experience it and you move through it. You can claim it and just say, okay, I experienced that. I believe that all of our emotions and feelings are a blessing. We are here on earth to experience them. They're here for a reason. And we shouldn't say anger is bad or frustration is bad, or label these things as something that we shouldn't experience. When we get angry, it can help us. It can be a blessing as we learn how to manage our emotions and manage our relationships. And that begins with claiming them and saying they are mine. These are my kids. This is my family. This is my home. This is my body. I'm in charge of so many things. I manage my emotions because they are mine. When we don't have ownership of them, then we fall victim to anybody else all around us deciding what should happen with our emotions. And I've seen this with kids at school. They cry. And so then the teachers kind of freak out. Oh, they're so emotional. Oh no, we should do something about that. And they just don't know how to handle it because it's not their emotions, it's the child's emotions. And the child hasn't been given the ownership of those emotions because they still are learning. And it just complicates things. If we can say, these are your feelings, validate them. Oh, you're sad. You're a little over emotional, maybe compared to who's grading. You might not be over emotional. Maybe you're just in that emotion. Go ahead, cry until you're done. And usually it's about 7 minutes. If you've been stuck in an emotion for more than 7 minutes, then you go, I think I should be done. I've been here for 7 minutes now. That should be long enough. 7 minutes is a magical number. When we're trying to get our kids to sleep at night, I remember with my first son, we would set the timer actually to say, if he's not asleep within 10 minutes, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And so almost every time, the first time he cried right up until 8 minutes, and I don't know, it was really close to 10 minutes. I was watching that clock really close. But at 7 minutes, we cry for about 7 minutes and then we're done. Test it out. Test it out. It's pretty fun. So sometimes when I want to feel an emotion, and yes, I want to feel them. If I haven't cried for a couple days or a week or something, it's time to feel that emotion and process that. Don't ignore it. Claim it. So if I want to feel an emotion, I will put on some sad music or some angry music and just get there and cry. I'll set the timer. I love my timer. My timer is one of my favorite tools. I'll set the timer for 7 minutes and just be done. When it goes off, I go, okay. So it's going to be a little bit shorter of a show today. We're going to start doing 30-minute shows instead of 45-minute, hour-long shows. I think we can get enough content and just really pack it in tighter and not take up as much of your day to get to the point of where we can help you. We're going to be bringing more guests on in the future, of course. We're still looking for the right radio show to host and platform for us. Everything will be put on YouTube. So if you don't want to miss anything, subscribe to YouTube there. It's just under Lydia Taggart and Layers of Communication. And Do you guys have any questions? I'm just super excited that this came to me, that we need to take ownership on so many different levels and ownership of our relationships. And it will make such a big difference. And I think that's everything we've got going on today. I'll remind you and invite you to sign up for our Parent Play Shop on August 11th. And this is 2018, in case you're listening to a replay way in the future. August 11th, 2018. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. There's an Eventbrite page to sign up. And if you go to layersofcommunication.com, we'll have a link there that you can also sign up. We've got one on Facebook, so you can go there too. Lori says she loves the taking time to release and cry. Yeah, it's important. We try to avoid these things. We think that it's going to make us not be happy, but it builds up. Even if we're ignoring it, it's still there. And we need to process and experience these things so we can make more room for more joy to be in us. That's really, really important. And to not deny other people of experiencing those feelings too. I think we get afraid and nervous because we don't know how to react. Like if someone's crying, we're like, oh, what do I do? You don't have to do anything. You just be there and say, I love you anyway, and I'm here for you. You don't have to fix it because it's probably not broken. We're not broken. We just have feelings and emotions to experience. And I'll leave this with you today. LydiaTaggart.com, layersofcommunication.com, and oh yeah, I remembered what else I needed to tell you. There is a new free thing that you can get. It's really awesome. If you go to layersofcommunication.com and click on the 5 fun activities for you to do with your children to help them easily express their feelings. There's just some really fun things that you can do to have your kids communicate better so we can understand and help them process. Like they just need to know what to do and to know that you're there to support them. That's so important. Last night, my oldest son, and well, both of my older sons went on a trip this last week to Moab. They were biking and hiking, and they were gone for like 4 days. And when they got home, my one talkative boy, he was talking up a storm. But Stephen, my older boy with Asperger's, he was quiet, waiting his turn. And we just need to be there for them. Sometimes kids need a little more time. Sometimes adults need a little more time. And so we sat there probably for 10 or 15 minutes before he just started talking about what happened and how he was doing. And he was worried about the cherries on our cherry tree. If you need some cherries or want some cherries, we've got some cherries. Come on over and get some. You got to pick them yourself though. So he had this concern about the cherries and the time of day and how much we're going to be able to process the cherries and save them and all that good stuff. But if I had said, well, it's just bedtime. You've been here for 5 minutes not talking. Good night. Then he would have taken that emotion to bed with him. And I think it's really important to give time and not take our emotions to bed with us. If you are fighting or arguing with someone, anyone, spouse, a child, don't take that emotion to bed with you. It is worth staying up an extra half hour or whatever it takes to clear that emotion and not let it settle in and get stuck inside. When we ignore things, they tend to get stuck. Even if we are ignoring them and don't know that they're there, if we haven't processed them, they haven't gone through us and they're still there. So, yeah, I just encourage you to take that time. And if you know that someone needs a little extra time, be a little more patient and be more patient with yourself because you deserve it. You are worth it, and so are they. This is Lydia Taggart with Layers of Communication, signing out. Thanks for being here today. Oh, Peggy, come get cherries when you're in town. Are you in town? Peggy wants cherries. Okay, love you guys. I'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Layers of Communication with your host, Lydia Taggart. Tune in next week as we discover the layers in order to communicate and connect down to your core on Lydia Taggart's Layers of Communication.